All right, hey guys, welcome to the new year 2021, and it's the first Friday of the month, so there's a new humble choice or a new series of games to choose from. Unfortunately, this one is not the greatest. Nothing really stands out to me. Most of these games have mostly positive reviews, which is close to mixed reviews, which means there's problems with almost every game on the list. So they really didn't have much lined up to start this year off, and I'm kind of disappointed. It might be my least favorite bundle of all time, or Humble Monthly at least. So I'm gonna go through the games. First up, we have PC Building Simulator. This game originally came out early 2018, so it's kind of old at this point, but it's a great game. It's exactly what it sounds like. You take on jobs fixing computers, installing new parts, troubleshooting, and you earn a modest income through that. It's great for new PC gamers or like those who don't know how to build computers. Great learning experience, and for those who do, it's enjoyable and you'll know exactly what's going on. So that's a great one. That's probably why they put it first. So next up, we have Ancestors: The Humankind Odyssey. This is a unique exploration evolutionary type game where you play as a clan of monkeys and you basically make discoveries as you go along. However, the game is very repetitive and you quickly run out of things to do. At most, it's a good concept, but it's not something to get overly excited about. Then there's Pathologic 2. You play in a plague-ridden town, and you play as the chief healer or plague doctor. You must make difficult decisions as society collapses around you, and you have 12 days to survive while trying to save the town. Very interesting game there. Then there's Warhammer Chaosbane. This is an action RPG where you fight hordes of enemies with 4 different classes. There's loads of abilities. If you don't mind a rather average action RPG, you might enjoy Chaosbane. But compared to like Grim Dawn, Path of Exile, Diablo, this one just sort of falls flat. Kind of unresponsive controls, the drop rates are low, sort of poor level design, and there's some deliberate paywalls trying to get you to pay more for some DLC. So in my opinion, not the greatest, but if you have other friends that got it through this bundle, might be fun to play with them. And then there's Total Tank Simulator, which is basically a clone of Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, although set in World War II this time. You place units down strategically and you watch the battles unfold. It's fun, although there's quite a few complaints about performance issues, and it's honestly just not something you would play for too long. Again, fairly mixed reviews there. Then there's Song of Horror, which is a pretty good horror game. It's a bit of a mix between Resident Evil and Silent Hill, being in third person. It's very atmospheric, incredibly creepy, and there's loads of interesting puzzles. The later part of the game does rely a little bit too much on backtracking, and the writing does fall a bit flat, but it's a good experience overall if you're into horror games. Then there's Not Tonight, which is a dystopian indie life management game after a post-Brexit society collapse. I have not played much of it, but it is similar to Papers, Please. So it's a game where you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it, but most people will probably enjoy it, especially if you played Papers, Please. So moving on, we have Vampire the Masquerade: Shadows of New York. This is a visual novel. I'm not a big fan of visual novels, so I don't want to hate on it, but the review score isn't exceptionally high, with many people complaining that the characters are just over the top and not very believable. So that's all I'm going to say about that one. Then we have Tales of the Neon Sea, which is a cyberpunk style pixel adventure game. I really love the art style here, and the story is full of twists, mystery, and suspense. The problem with this one is every single thing you do is a vague puzzle in some sense or another, which I found to be quite annoying after a short time. So again, a little bit mixed review score on that one. And moving forward, Minoria, which is a Metroidvania 2D action RPG. I thought I would love this one. I like the visual style. The combat just relies a little bit too much on parrying at points, and I just felt like the game was overly difficult just for the sake of being difficult. Kind of like Dark Souls, but didn't really need to be that challenging, at least not in my opinion. It's definitely something I'd like to play more of. It's just not something I'm too thrilled about. And then moving on to the last 2 games, we have Deleveled, which is a charming little indie puzzle platformer. It has a great retro vibe. It's charming, has a lot of replayability, and surprisingly, in my opinion, this is one of the best games in this bundle. And although there's not very many reviews currently, it does have a 100% positive review score on Steam, so there has to be something good there. And then the final game is called called The Ambassador Fractured Timelines, which is another fantastic little indie game that's honestly a hidden gem. It's a very charming twin-stick fantasy shooter that's extremely fun, has a great retro vibe, and has a good mix of unique mechanics, content, and challenge to keep it entertaining from start to finish. So again, 100% positive review scores currently, but only a handful of review scores. For all the games for this month's Humble Choice, unfortunately not the greatest, at least not in my opinion. Most of these games have just mostly positive reviews or mixed review scores, which is very unfortunate for a Humble Choice. You'd expect a little bit higher quality, but I think it's just because the deal last month giving people the Humble Choice for $6, that's probably why this month has been a little bit lacking. Maybe they just didn't have a whole lot lined up. But if you were missing PC Building Simulator, it's probably worthwhile. Otherwise, I don't know. It's just not the best. And if you scroll down, you can see previous Humble Monthlies or Humble Choice collections, and there's just better games. I can just keep scrolling through all the previous monthlies, and there's just things that are far, far more recommendable than this month. So that's just my spiel, just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the description below. Keep in mind, the Steam Winter Sale ends on January 5th. In the morning if you live in the United States. So make sure you buy all of your games within the next like 2 or 3 days. Otherwise, all the sales are going to end, which is going to be unfortunate. And for those of you who are very high level on Steam and planning on using the winter sale bots, make sure you guys pick up those before they run out, I guess. Currently the rate is like 1 in 8. So I purchased a bunch of them, and I'll be leveling up a little bit as well. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and have a nice day.